Struggle streaming in effect already. All right, good people, listen. Currently, I don't really have anyone viewing. I'm unable to see. Yeah, I'm doing this video. Uh, I found out late in the day. Actually, I went on someone else's stream, expecting to see the content that they had been promoting. And what was weird, they started off with a Kevin Samuels screen. Uh, Something to the effect that said The Godfather or something like that. Uh, I found that kind of strange because this is a different content creators stream that I was watching, and so once they came into the stream and went live, that's when they broke the news, which was basically um, that Kevin Samuels had passed away. So that was at approximately, I want to say, 9:30 p.m. I wasn't really feeling well early in the day, so I was getting some rest, some much needed rest. So I was oblivious to the news. I had no clue uh, that this is what had been, being reported. So it was quite a surprise to me. Um, it's now going a little past 1:30 a.m. And so I decided to do, which is my very first live stream on my own channel. What my channel is, Freelance HD. Uh, the premise of the channel is basically to talk with freelancers, mainly about live streaming, the different tools that are available. And then I'm going to have a segment which is created or live interviews with content creators, in particular live streamers. So that's the premise of the channel. And while I've been making rounds on some other uh, live streams, You know, Black Man Unfiltered, Sir Hale Speaks, the Book of Genesis, to name a few. Been making rounds, but I've been putting off doing my own live stream. Just putting it off and putting it off. And so hearing this news today, man, it really threw me for a loop. Um, I wasn't expecting it. Uh, but it made me realize, it made me think, like, look, man, you can't keep putting off going live. So why am I picking now to do it? I mean, I don't know. I do want to talk about the impact that this brother has had on me personally, Kevin Samuels. Uh, Talk a little bit about the influence of Kevin Samuels from a personal standpoint, um, and hopefully to be able to have dialogue with some others that may join the stream, uh, to really, I guess you could say, celebrate the life. I'm not in a position to celebrate the life of a man, but I do want to highlight how much of an impact that he has had, not just on me. This brother, Kevin Samuels, he influenced a whole generation, if you will, of live streamers. And he created income for a lot of content creators. You can go to countless channels and see videos that people have created based off of Kevin Samuels content. He has influenced a lot of creators um, that have paid homage to him. I know the lead attorney on more than one occasion attributed him getting started with live streaming directly with attaching that directly to Kevin Samuels. And there's countless others, including myself. I would say it's a mix between Kevin Samuels and the lead attorney. One thing that the lead attorney, what stood out for me personally, was the fact that he would always say, hey, look, anyone over, I think he said over the age of 40, that has some field of expertise needs to have their own YouTube channel, and in particular to do live stream. So the combination between the lead attorney and Kevin Samuels uh, really prompted me to go into um, the live stream space. But, over the last few years, seeing one of the, I think they said it was in February, I want to say, of 2020, that Kevin Samuels is really hit the viral stage, if you will, um, with the infamous video of Your Average at Best. Seeing that journey, seeing I was following him before then, but being the nerd that I am, I really appreciated, his level of content or production, as far as, his set, if you will, uh, having the various cameras, seeing the technology that he put into it, being able to, he's one of the few streamers that he brings his guest in through Zoom. Whereas, let's say the average streamer basically invites people and has them come into whatever streaming software that they're utilizing, whether it's StreamYard, whether it's Ecamm, or what I'm using right now, which is EV Mux. People come into the stream directly through uh, their designated platform. Whereas Kevin Samuels really had a different way of doing things, and seeing how much he invested into his equipment, seeing the production value of it, really stood out to me. And I remember talking to countless women, um, just trying to get their feedback on what they thought about Kevin Samuels, had they watched his content, what they thought about it. And I would say 98% of the time, women would say, yeah, I don't like him. I can't stand him. Usually something negative. They just really didn't like his content. And I would say I posed this question to, at the very least, 100 women. And yeah, the feedback was not always good. And my question was always why, you know, and the feedback was usually something to the effect of, he's rude, he's arrogant, um, I just don't like him. And I really wanted to kind of dig deep as to why women felt this way. Because I think that Kevin Samuels was very misunderstood. And what I mean by that is that if you were only subjected to a bite size, uh, if you only watched clips of Kevin Samuels, usually those clips were very salacious. If you've seen Kevin Samuels where other content creators are uh, highlighting or showcasing some of the videos and giving their opinions on and feedback on those videos, then you only got a small sampling of what Kevin Samuels was really about. And of course, they would choose the most salacious of his content to highlight, as that's how you get clicks, that's how you get views. But that was only, in my opinion, that was only a small portion of what I think Mr. Samuels was really about. And I was on a panel earlier today where we delved into the subject, the very panel I spoke of earlier. And the women that were on there, they all really said the same thing, which was, I didn't really care for him, didn't really like him. But, you know, I can see the impact, or, it's terrible news that, to learn of his passing. And all of them said the same thing, which was, my question was, well, have you ever watched like a full episode? Have you ever watched like the full stream of one full stream of Kevin Samuels? And all of them basically said the same thing. Like, no, I've only saw a clip, or I started watching one of his videos and I just couldn't stomach it. I couldn't, so I didn't stay for long. And so that's why I believe Kevin Samuels was um, just a misunderstood brother, because in my opinion, his intent was his intentions were good. Okay. Maybe his delivery was not always the nicest, but sometimes, where are we in a society where we believe that everything needs to be sugar coated? Where are we in a society where, as one of these sisters pointed out, there's people celebrating this man's passing? And to me, that's rather sick. It's rather vile. And again, it's just, the brother is, man, it's difficult to wrap my head around it. I would say the last time that I felt the feelings that I'm feeling now for, for someone that I don't know personally, uh, would be Kobe Bryant. You know, it reminds me of how I felt the day I found out that he died. And sometimes in life, you get news where you just don't want to believe it. You can't believe it. My initial reaction was, that's probably fake news. I went into my trunk bag on that one. That's fake news. Um, but as I made my rounds of the different channels, I was able to find, well, it's still not fully confirmed. However, however, I think one thing that we could depend on when it comes to Kevin Samuels, uh, that as this started circulating across the different outlets, the different social media platforms, the Twitters, the Instagram, YouTube, etc., I think we could pretty much count on the fact that if it was not true, we would have heard something from Kevin Samuels directly. You know, whether it whether it be in written form, but more than likely it would be video. And so, although it's not confirmed, what we do know is that there hasn't been a counter by Mr. Samuels himself. And so to me, that speaks volumes. I think that he would be the first to squash any type of misconception like this. And so uh, I really do believe, as I'm making this the first live video that I'm doing, you know, and whether anyone joins this video or not, it puts a certain urgency into what it is that I want to do, the channel that I want to create, the community that I want to create, puts an urgency into it to where I feel like, stop putting off to tomorrow what you could be doing today. Because tomorrow's not promised. And if anything that we can learn, that we can pull from this, and I think that the impact that this is going to have, what I can foresee happening, because Kevin Samuels can't be replaced. Okay. That's first and foremost. This man cannot be replaced. His impact cannot is not easily duplicated. Okay. There's a lot of moving parts. A lot of people think that this brother started with the average at best video. Absolutely not. He had been doing content for years before that, before he went viral, if you will. So this is not something where someone's going to be able to step in and take his place. That's not going to happen. But what I do foresee happening is that a lot of creators that have been putting their projects off, I think you're going to see an uprising. You're going to see an uptick of people starting to develop their content. Some of them will attempt to try to replace Mr. Samuels. Not going to happen. But I think that a lot of people like myself, in tribute to the legacy of Kevin Samuels, will be developing. You're going to see an uprising in content. You're going to see an uprising of creators, whatever their intentions are. remains to be seen, but I really do expect and anticipate that there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of content creators that by inspiration alone uh, are going to pick up the torch. And that's the real impact that Mr. Samuels, that his legacy will live on. You know, I think that Mr. Samuels, as far as his content is concerned, um, I anticipate that he was going to do some big things in the future. I think, you know, hell, I don't know him personally, but hearing his dialogue as far as what he was intending, the direction that he was looking ahead, um, his foresight, uh, he's going to be missed greatly. And man, I can only imagine the things that he had working in the pipeline that now we'll never be able to fully see the direction and the purpose of what it is that he was doing. And from a legacy standpoint, I really feel like the inspiration. You know, I saw videos by Anton Daniels. I saw video by MTR. These are people that were in direct communication with Mr. Samuels. Um, and seeing the impact that it has had on them, uh, I don't know if sad is the word. You know, anytime we lose someone, it's sad. But yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how people are going to pick up the torch from this point. And so I don't know what level of impact that I'm gonna have on YouTube. You know, I think that the last count, if we were to look at the last count of Kevin Samuels, I think he was at 1.4, somewhere between 1.4 and 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube, a little over 1 million on Instagram. You know, I'm not anticipating anywhere near those type of numbers as far as Freelance HD is concerned. Uh, but I do anticipate on a small level, I want to make impact, some form of impact. Uh, Hopefully in the genre of live streaming. One of my heroes, someone that you may not know, is one Kirk Nugent, and that brother's hustle is real. You know, he's nowhere in the spectrum of Kevin Samuels, not known. He's known within the live stream community. He's big time in that community, but on a wide scale basis, absolutely not. And then when you look at Kevin Samuels and you look at, I mean, the impact that he has had on YouTube, when you look in comparison to mainstream media hasn't even picked up this story as of yet. Like it's not even a blip on their radar, you know, which is shocking to me. Um, Probably shocking to many people that, you know, it's blowing me. It really is, because it's almost like what, he wasn't important enough. Or you don't think that this subject matter is important enough. I hate that my camera keeps refocusing like that. I got to work on that. Um, but yeah, I wanted to put this video out. I guess the purpose of it is lit a fire under me to say, okay, well, look, man, stop BSing around. Let's get this cracking. Number one. Number two is a way to kind of talk this out, wrap my head around it. You know, some people, it's amazing how some people that you don't have a direct connection with, they can impact you to the point or the level to where even though you don't know them personally, it has an impact on you, and I would say that this has hit me. It hit me pretty hard. It hit me pretty hard. Some things in life you just don't want to believe. This would be one of them. But to me, it's important what it is that we're going to do from this point. How we're going to carry the torch and how we're going to honor the legacy. And whether you liked Kevin Samuels or not, this is what I would implore women to do, which I don't expect it to actually happen. But if you never really took time to watch his videos front to back, now would be the time to give it a shot. I don't know if it's a matter of too little, too late, but get a better understanding of what Mr. Samuels was really about, because I think that you will find that if you give it the time and be open-minded, that you will see that this was a good brother who had intentions, good intentions, when it came to Blacks as a community, as legacy builders, if you will. And we have lost what I will deem as a social media and YouTube legend. It's a sad day in history. May 5th. Yeah. So, hope this video finds you well. And again, it's up to us to push our platforms forward. If for anything, as a tribute to the legacy of Kevin Samuels. With that, I bid you well, and I bid you a good night.